In case you didn't know, the #1 car brand in Singapore is BYD. It's something they first achieved in 2024 and they did it again in 2025. But how did they get there? Is there such a thing as growing too fast? And do they intend to stay on top in 2026? Well, to find out, I spoke with James Ng, the Managing Director of BYD Singapore and the Philippines. Okay, James, thanks for agreeing to talk to me. You had a fantastic year last year. Let me recap your achievements. You were the #1 brand again. You sold more than 11,000 cars in Singapore, and I saw a chart where you showed that every month last year, you sold more than the last month before that. So, congratulations. I think it's a fantastic achievement. How important is something like this to you and to BYD?
Well, I think the demonstrated results is very important because it's a show of confidence, especially when BYD comes in, it's still a new brand to many people. So for Singapore, we are somehow very fortunate, but at the same time, we also have good support from the public and especially from the government as well. So if you look at this, in Chinese it's called 天时地利人和, it comes and it's just spark and that's the outcome. So, but of course, I think definitely one of the main reasons for that kind of result is the product by itself, the BYD, which is really a good product. Be it whether is it high-tech, in advance, the quality, at the same time the reliability, all has proven, and also the price point. So these are the few key pointers that formalize a good product that comes from China all the way to Singapore. So in Singapore, definitely we have our role to play, that's localization. So when it comes to localization, I think our team, considering the principle itself, then plus our distributor, plus dealers, I would like to tell that we are really one united. And we have done a fantastic job. And that's the reason why we have this, I would say that, quite a good result, which I'm very satisfied for 2025.
You used the word satisfied, and I was going to ask you, when you see where you are now, are you actually doing better than you thought, or worse than you thought, or exactly where you expected to be?
I can't say that it's better than I thought because we put in a lot of effort. While you put in a lot of effort, the expectation goes up, all right? So I will say that I'm satisfied because we are able to achieve what we want to, our desired one. But of course, we see a lot of rooms to go to forge for. So we'll say that 2026, we have spec our target. And as one united team, together with the support from our principal, we believe that we'll do better than 2025 this year.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about 2026 later on, but from my observation, the way you guys do things, you just never rest. You know, you were #1 in 2024, but then you just went harder in 2025. You launched more cars, you just picked up the pace. Like, don't you get tired?
That's the DNA of BYD.
Okay.
But I'm very fortunate to be part of BYD because I learned a lot of things from the company. Be it whether the fighting spirits, the working structure, the culture, and also the courage to forge forward, and at the same time, the business instinct. These are the things that I've learned a lot, and that's how we apply to the market, and it works.
Okay. When I talk to some of your dealers and ask what's it like working with BYD, they usually say it's demanding, but that you guys are very fair. Is that an accurate description?
I would say that, and happy to hear that. Yes, BYD is demanding. We work hard, we're there to try, and we want to get, hopefully, to see good results. But we will not blame if we have done something wrong. So we just rethink, rework, and come and rebuild again.
Personally, when you look at the last year, were there any moments where you thought, oh, we could have done this better, or maybe we could have done things differently? Or did everything just go to plan?
No, definitely not. Definitely not, because scenario always changes. Okay. So we work very hard. We have very close communication with our team, with our distributor dealer. In fact, we meet every week. We sit down and we monitor the situation and work closely to make sure that everything's try to work towards our objective.
So when a brand grows like this, very, very fast, sometimes it can bring what I call like growing pains, right? So maybe there are bottlenecks for after sales and servicing. Maybe people worry about used car values. Do you have anything to say to people who have these kind of concerns?
Well, we see all these generic problems, and those are real and common problems from the buyer itself. So we noted that, and we are trying to improve on this. So in 2026, you'll be seeing quite a few more improvements they've done. To date, we have 4 workshops across Singapore, we're going to build our fleet workshop by first Q of this year. If we do some calculation, basically 5 workshops is definitely enough to support the whole fleet at this moment now. We'll be very careful and be observant. As we increase the fleet, we'll definitely make sure that the after-sales workshop, the after-sales service will be continually be supported with ample quantity, but at the same time with quality high of our work. At the same time, I think on top of that, we feel that we are also happy that other than the after-sales, we also do service excellence. We are trying to improve on that because wherever we are talking about any service recovery, because our fleet is getting bigger, so we make sure that we run through procedure, we run through manpower, we do training to make sure that customers are cocky with our service recovery or there's any sales and after-sale kind of service that we provided to them.
Okay. I want to ask you about plug-in hybrid electric vehicles because honestly, there hasn't been a successful one in Singapore yet. Now, you kind of paved the way for electric vehicles here. Are you really expecting to do the same for plug-ins as well?
Well, I think at this moment, Singapore is a bit different from the rest, where there is a strong support for BEV. That's the reason why people are coming in. With this support, they are more ready to come in. There is still a gap of people on range anxiety or people that like to travel overseas, for example, Malaysia, that require longer range of needs. So because of that, we feel that for PHEV is still a better choice. So if you compare PHEV and HEV, definitely to me, I think that the upside of PHEV is definitely better than HEV because even you drive a PHEV, it works equally as good as a HEV. But anytime you see a charging station, you just go in and boost out your range as well. But at the same time, if you look at the technology itself, it's still a two different technology. But in terms of efficiency, I would say that PHEV kick in quite pretty well. Better than that.
Okay, it sounds like you really believe in the technology.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to ask you about this car behind us. This is the Denza V5. Now Denza is a luxury brand, and my understanding is I was reading in the Business Times that this is going to cost around $350,000. I won't put you on the spot and ask you the price, but do you think people in Singapore are ready for luxury brands from China?
Well, I think it is definitely ready because in today's context, the technology of China and the quality of product they produce, and definitely not owing the fact that China is actually a country that is the forte of producing good quality product. It's a king of manufacturing. But so the thing is, with that, definitely produce with high tech, producing a reliable and with good class of quality of vehicle, definitely is not a concern. So with all these factors coming in, definitely, of course, you want to produce a premium product. It's easy. So I would say that we are very confident with Denza. Reason is because slightly more than 1 year ago, we launched our Denza D-Line. Yes. Today, we have more than 700 vehicles being sold. So if my number is correct, the annual consumption of a premium MPV, we're talking about 600, but we score 700. So that means that actually, that gives us a very good confidence of Denza, that people recognize that the Denza is a premium product and they are willing to try it out. And of course, if you look at that, we also have a mission is that we are trying to bring a premium product to the market, but at an affordable cost. We are not talking about something that's very cheap, something that is of a good quality, good price point, but better than those traditional product, premium products. So with that, I would say that will bring beneficials to a lot of users as well, having a better rate, but they are having a better experience for those luxurious driving experience.
Okay, Denza, I'm really looking forward to what's coming from Denza and BYD in 2026. But for you personally, what goals do you have for this coming year?
Well, of course, when it comes to this, we are talking about better sales number than 2025.
Okay.
And with those cautious plan and a very detailed analysis in the market numbers, we are very ready for better numbers for 2026. And at the same time, motivation is to continue to be number one. All right. Then at the same time, to do good for Denza, even better for Denza.
Okay, well, there you have it. Number one or nothing. Thank you very much, James.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good year ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
So a very optimistic and confident sounding James Ng there, but I do want to point out that BYD's success in Singapore did not come overnight. It's a result of years and years of hard work. Of course, we have a long 12 months ahead of us, but I get the feeling that for BYD, anything less than number one is not an option. there such a thing as growing too fast? And how do they intend? Years of trying and some hard work from some, run out, Steve.